I grew up in the generation when everything that you wanted to see as far as a television show was on a network. So one of the three networks, like ABC, CBS, or NBC, there was no in between. There was nothing else. Then one day they came out with a TV station on Channel 14 on UHF. All of a sudden, I was watching another channel. And please understand, there was no inkling of anything called an internet. The only computer that I was aware of was the one on Star Trek Enterprise when I was watching shows like that, or others, excuse me, or other sci-fi television shows that were on the air. And when I say on the air, that's because it was going over the air, picking it up on little rabbit ear antennas, unless you were out of town and you had to have the big one. Star Trek. Actually remember the original airing of Star Trek, and we were always fiddling around with the little antennas that they call the rabbit ears on the TV set, trying to get it cleared up. A person also had to subscribe to a magazine called TV Guide, and it was a little booklet you could pick up in the store if you wanted to. That's where I got it a lot of the times, because I would go into a grocery store, and there it would be on the newsstand. That's right. I used to watch Captain Kirk, sometimes in black and white on my TV. And whenever you have a black and white TV, you really don't think about it not being in color. You kind of like your brain fixes it for you. You can imagine that maybe it is in color. So when we finally got a color television, it was just like an amazing new world with all of this color on the screen. Then we saw the difference. We saw what black and white really was. It was not it was not what we thought it would be whenever we saw color. And of course, you could do the same thing now. You could turn your screen to black and white, and if you watch it long enough, maybe over several days, you'll see what I mean. So you'll quit thinking in terms of colors. You just start imagining what colors are. Like when watching I Dream of Jeannie in black and white, for the longest time, there was no color. And so, but I wasn't really that surprised that her outfit was pink. For some reason, I just knew. But even though I was watching black and white, my brain somehow figured it out. I wanted to add here that even though you can look some of this stuff up and you can find out the background of why people can sometimes see color from black and white images, and you can go to AI to get answers. This is a human speaking to you, and I am telling you what happened to me and what I remember in my life from memory. So I value that much more than what an artificial intelligence might be able to come up with. There are going to be those times, no matter who you are, whenever you encounter things that you don't know much about. And so you need to do the research and find out exactly what's going on here. Of course, you're going to be better off if you actually learn these new facts whenever you do the research, rather than just noting them somewhere and keeping those and never learning it. So, keeping this tied to my TV generation, what I was talking about, I think that once the computer and the internet generation took off, that's the reason why it took off, is because you can only have so many documentaries on a television, and it's entertainment for the most part. So they developed what is known as infotainment, and so that just had a link into the internet because people could then go and do all this research. Just think about what would have happened if all we had on the internet, if the internet was all about YouTube and only videos, and that's all there was. Sure, it could be functional, but the links, where's the link in there? Because that was the first thing that I noticed about the internet that I really liked and really thought was cool, was all of this linking in HTML code and linking pages and sharing links, and it led to surfing the web and all of that cool stuff. I remember the internet before even search engines were there, or that I knew about the search engines. And then once the search engines came out, then you were not just surfing the web, you were actually searching for things on the internet and going there and visiting pages and telling others about that page. And I really think that's why Google did what they did and why they're tied so much to YouTube. And so you have videos out there that explain so many things and ideas, and then you have the nature of them being searchable. And at times I wish they could do better, and maybe they're trying. And now we're into the internet combined. So that's saying as the internet combined with artificial intelligence, and now they're trying to pick it up with doing that and having artificial intelligence go and research all the information. But I say again, I'm a human, and I think humans actually can wind up doing that better because we actually see the little, I mean, really, be honest about this. We can see whenever artificial intelligence makes a mistake. We can. And so that means that proves out that we are slightly better than the artificial intelligence. As soon as artificial intelligence says, no, we can do that ourselves, or you can't tell the difference, and yeah. So my generation started out with television and TV shows, and eventually the internet came along, and we kind of dovetailed that in with the internet, and then YouTube and videos and chat rooms and social media. So if your generation started out with computers and the internet already being there, then you are the ones also probably doing research to figure out history and what happened before all of this. You're probably going to be looking for this and saying, yeah, this guy can tell me something. And so I have.